Good evening, everyone. This is Vicki Simons with TruckDriversMoneySavingTips.com. Okay, Special Sunday is a time when we focus on relationships, and obviously one of the relationships that a professional truck driver has, although not a very personal one, is the motoring public that is around him or her while they're driving the truck. And the thing about it is we are around all kinds of people who have all sorts of driving habits and all sorts of personalities, all sorts of circumstances that are going on in their lives. And we never know what's going on in their minds, their hearts, their spirits when they're driving. And sometimes all they want to do is get up the road as fast as they can. They don't care what they do or how they take out anybody else in their path. And I hope that you've had a chance to look at the video that I have linked. This I got from the Truckers Wall of Shame Facebook fan page, and shout out to them for putting that up there. There's a great deal of controversy in the comments under this video on their Facebook fan page about this crash, this accident that happened. In a nutshell, you have a Camaro driver who is trying to pass in the right-hand lane, and there's a pickup truck driver who sees that he's trying to pass, and basically he speeds up and will not allow the Camaro driver to cut in front of him, between him and the big rig that's in the right-hand lane. So he ends up basically rushing ahead and keeping the Camaro behind him. He ends up passing the truck that he was originally gaining on and gets up alongside the second big rig that's in the right-hand lane. But instead of just going ahead and passing the truck, the big rig in the right-hand lane, it's obvious that the pickup truck driver is going to try to teach the Camaro driver a lesson. Okay, you're not going to do this. Okay, I'm going to punish you by keeping you back there. And basically what he's doing is staying even with the truck in order to be able to prevent anyone from passing. Okay, and this is not right. Okay, the Camaro driver was not right for wanting to pass on the right. The pickup truck driver was not right for keeping the Camaro driver behind him. And then it got to the place where the Camaro driver was going to basically bust his way through or else. Okay, what he decided to do was try to pass on the, I guess you might say, the breakdown lane or the emergency lane, the little tiny strip. There wasn't room to pass on the left-hand side of the left lane, where there was not an extra lane there. It was just basically, a little tiny bit of asphalt and maybe some grass or something. But anyway, he ends up losing control, and he takes out not only the pickup truck, but actually the big rig that's in the right-hand lane. Now, my thing is not to moralize about the actions of the Camaro driver or the pickup truck driver, because I think they're both wrong. But my question is, what could the driver of the big rig in the right-hand lane, what could he have potentially done in order to potentially avoid an accident? Okay, he is not required to slow down at all. Okay, he's in the slow lane as it is. The people who are in the passing lane are supposed to be passing him, okay? And that's fact. That's the way it is, the rules of the road in the United States. But the fact of the matter is, if he had slowed down, okay, one of two things would have happened. Either the pickup truck would have kept pace with him, going slower, or the pickup truck would have just kept his speed enough to where the Camaro driver probably would have been able to dart in front of the truck, the big rig in the right-hand lane, and gotten on his way. Okay, now, nothing's to say that if the big rig driver had slowed down, that there would not have been an accident anyway, because it's obvious that the Camaro clipped the front end of the pickup truck. He could have easily clipped the front end of the big rig as well. But the fact of the matter is, because the driver of the truck did not slow down, that was not an option. That was not an out, if you want to call it that, all right? In the Smith system, if you have learned this, you always want to leave yourself an out, okay? In this video, the big rig driver didn't really have, he did not exercise that out, okay? He did not slow down in order to allow this impatient Camaro driver and this, trying to teach the Camaro driver a lesson, driver of the pickup truck. So it's one of those things where, speculation is always, easy hindsight. But the thing about it is, in my personal opinion, yes, there was something that the driver of the big rig could have done to try to prevent this accident, and that is simply to slow down and allow the passing traffic to pass. Okay, obviously he was not required to do this, but I think that he could have, and right or wrong, that's my own personal opinion, and I think that it could have, really, it could not only have saved time and money, but it's just a lot of grief, because the thing about it is there's no telling what happened to the traffic behind them. So anyway, always realize, drivers, that when you are driving around the motoring public, these people, if they're not driving a commercial motor vehicle, they're not professionals. They're simply amateurs, okay? And some of them are going to act like amateurs, okay? Some of these people have got what I call a video game mentality, okay? And they are used to doing a redo or a do-over, okay? They're not used to being necessarily punished for their actions and their faulty judgment. So you have to make allowances sometimes for these people. And the thing about it is I've seen so many of these videos online where basically the four-wheeler, they made a bad call, okay? And the thing about it is sometimes a professional driver could have avoided it and sometimes not. Okay, but when you have a choice to be able to avoid an accident, by all means, try to avoid the accident, okay? Exercise common sense, remember the Smith system, leave yourself an out, and try to save yourself time and money in the long run. Okay, so just bear in mind, you don't want to look down upon the motoring public, but you do want to make allowances for them because they do not have as much experience in driving professionally as you do. Okay, so make allowances for them, and hopefully this will be able to stick with you. And I would encourage you to look back at the video if you can, and feel free to reject it if you want to, but I think that things could have been turned out differently had the truck driver slowed down in this video. Okay, look forward to meeting with you tomorrow on Motivated Monday, and until next time, my husband Mike and I wish you great wellness, purpose, and abundance, lots of money-saving tips, and of course, safe travels. Have a great night. Thanks.